What is up, YouTubers? We are back with another episode of Our 60 Journey. My name is Lucas, and I am here to help us build healthy relationships. So, I think up to this point have made all of these videos, except maybe one, during the day. They happen most commonly between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. That is when I make these videos. Tonight, it is 1:12 in the morning. It's 1:12 a.m. And I just felt really engaged to make a video because of several things that have happened to me over the past week. So sometimes I find myself surrounded by either A, interrogators, people who ask endless amounts of inane questions. And let me tell you first, when people ask a million questions about what it is you do, or what it is that's going to happen, or what it is this, or what it is that, or blah, 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 they want to know all these things. They do that because they're not trusting. They're not trusting the process. They're not trusting themselves. And they're, in essence, because they're not trusting themselves, they're not trusting you. And this happens sometimes, like if you find a really good teacher or a really good healer, which aren't they the same thing? These people, they know what it is to do. Like, I am an improver. Like, when it comes to healing, teaching dance, Ubering, my psychic calls, like, there's no plan. There's never a plan. Like, I mean, I might make an outline, like, make sure you're listening to them, make sure you're connected emotionally, make sure you cover pliés, make sure you show progression today through this. But that plan is just an outline, and everything in between the bullet points just happens. And I find myself, like, sometimes parents come up to me and they want to ask all those questions. So, how's she doing here? And what about this? And where is this going? And do you think she can do this? Do you think she'd be on Teams today? Do you think she can do this? How long do you think it'll take us to get here? Well, I am a psychic. However, I'm not God, and I do not see all the possibilities for where this could go, so there's a million ways. She could learn all the choreography in 30 minutes and just know it and be able to practice it in a week and be good to go. But it could also take her 3 hours to learn the choreography, and she might still be stuttering through it, and it might take her another month after that to get through it. We really don't know. How hard is she going to work? And it's the same thing with my psychic calls. And if this happens, I'm bringing this up about me because I know it happens to you. It's where, like, they call in and they want to know, is he going to contact me? When? What is he going to say? What am I going to say? What about the past? Sweetheart, there is no psychic in the world that can tell you everything that's going to happen to you. Like, if you believe a psychic can tell you the future, you are a codependent being that need to zoom out and take control of your own life. Because, like, all a psychic can really read is where you are. That's it. And they can formulate a possibility of where you're going to go. I have one deck that it labels the sixth card as possible outcomes. It doesn't label it as the outcome. It labels it as possible outcomes because that's the energy for where you are right now. But any decisions you make between now and then, and oh, we're already then, any decision you make is going to shift and change that outcome. So if you're surrounded by interrogators, let me tell you the best way to, I don't like to evade, because evading is basically running from a fight, is to call them out and say, I notice you're asking me a lot of questions right now. Why don't you just tell me what it is you need or what it is you're looking for, and I can tell you if right now I can provide that. And I'll tell you right now, most people get offended. When you do that, they get offended. And do you know why? Because they're not living in the right now and they're upset that you called them out in their drama. Second thing, and the smart ones that, by the way, before I go to the second thing, the smart ones that are self-aware and they want to grow, they will recognize that and go, thank you so much for being honest. I had several calls this week that people were like, I really appreciate your honesty. Like, I'm kind of blown away that you were so raw with me. That's what I do. I'm raw. I don't have time to play games with you. So anyway, the second thing is people that they do this thing where they give you endless and endless and endless amounts of energy, like telling you that 95% of this problem is I need to leave him, walk away, I need to get a new job, and they give all this stuff, and then they give you 5% of the good. And then when you go, well, 95% of your answers right now and 95% of the things you have said to me says that you should definitely go down this road, then they go, oh, and they want to debate you on the reasons why for the 5% of the things that work. And I've said this before. Those people are what I commonly call as ask-holes. A-S-K-H-O-L-E-S. They're ask-holes. They want to ask you to agree, to basically tell you what you think. And after they give you 95% reasons why you should think a certain thing, then once you tell them do this, they want to debate you and not take your advice and then continue to walk down their meaningless, endless path. By the way, my energy tonight is very raw, and so you're more than welcome to turn off the channel. But this is who I am. Like I'm getting to the point now where should we have compassion for people? Absolutely. Should we be sweet and kind to them? Absolutely. But it's like I told someone in the car today, this old woman, she had to have been at least 82 years old. It's Uber. Everyone's like in their 50s. She's at least, I'd say maybe 75 at the youngest. And she goes, I just feel like sometimes I'm being mean. And that Sellers made the scoff. I scoffed and then turned my head and say, sometimes, honey, the only way to get across to someone is to be mean. You have to remember that if you're, okay, let's label consciousness on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like there's like 10 levels. If you're on level 7 in your consciousness and someone's on level 3, if you use the 7th level dimension of awareness of consciousness to communicate to them, they ain't gonna hear you. It would be like using 7th grade words to a 3rd grader. They don't know those words. So I turned to her and I said, you have to be mean sometimes, because sometimes the only way to make someone hear you is to yell at them. And it's not about being mean, and it's not about being hateful or like, condemning. It's about that's the only way they hear you. I was talking to a friend the other day, 2 days ago, and she goes, I feel like sometimes you're just so mean to me. And I said, it's because you only hear me when I yell at you. Aww. If I'm sweet to you and I'm kind and I'm trying to be compassionate, you don't hear a word I say. But if I get nasty and condemning and rude, then all of a sudden you go, oh. And of course they act offended first. They want to act offended, and then they walk away and they come back, days, weeks, months, years later. And they say to you, wow, you were so right. And it's because you moved yourself down to the awareness that they're at and communicated to them. As a teacher who teaches people from the ages of 3 until my oldest is 16 right now, it's been younger and older, you have to lower yourself down. My cat is like wanting to be in her so bad. We have to bring ourselves to the same level they're at to communicate to them where they won't understand. And so if people are interrogating you or they're giving you endless amounts of certain things to get a certain response to you, be truthful. Just be truthful. Like, I meet so many people that spend so much time putting up walls and facades and creating the perfect opportune things to say, when most of the time the answer is just speak from your heart. Just speak it plainly. It's not complicated. Like, and I feel like the biggest part that people run into, and when I say this, if you're watching the video, you're going to know I'm talking about you right now, is they feel bad about making someone else feel bad because they don't want to feel bad that they hurt them. And that's no way to live. It is one of the worst ways to live, is when I spend so much energy and so much time putting out something that's not authentic, that's delayed. Life is real and it's in the moment, and all we have is right now. I could have a stroke while making this video and die. And then I died not saying what it is I was meant to say to you, because I was putting it off, or trying to be sweet, or trying to find the right words. There are no right words. There is no perfect time. All we have is the truth, and all we have is now. That's it. There's nothing else. And it's best to just live in that moment, and if we upset someone, usually it's because they didn't want to hear the truth. And someone's voice just popped in my head. A teacher I had once that said, honesty without tact is cruelty. But I think lies with tact are cruelty. People need to know. And maybe they're ready, maybe they're not. But when someone comes to you and they give you a question or a statement they want advice to, just speak your truth. And make sure you preface it with, from my perspective of what I just heard you say, this is what I think is best. This is what Athena's not liking the separation. This is what I think is best. This is what I would do. Of course, you can do whatever you want, and I support you. But right now, I would do this. Because that's all we have, is what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we think, what we know. We can never make a choice for them. And if you feel drained by people's interrogations or by people's statements of advice, then preface it by saying that. I know you're going to make whatever you want. I cannot tell you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I support you. I would do this. And then you're keeping their energy over there and your energy over here. Because contrary to popular belief, energies are not supposed to mix. You are supposed to always care for and keep your vibration. If you're taking on their energy or trying to give them your energy on their interrogations and their questions of advice and their statements of blah, you are draining yourself. Stop. Stop doing that. Because the only way to stay up is to maintain your vibration. That's all you have. Anyway, I look forward to our next video. Stay up to date and in tune with our channel. We're at 18 subscribers, and they're coming. Subscribers are coming. I believe in full faith they're on their way. Have a nice day.